Thanks for tuning into the BoshNRoll channel. Liking the video and subscribing to the channel are free and easy for you, and they help me out a lot. If you want to go further with your support, Patreon and YouTube membership offer access to the BoshNRoll Discord community, early access to lists, written content, things like that. You can have me play your deck on the channel, and the highest tiers come with individual coaching sessions. If you use YouTube membership, you also get sweet badges and emotes integrated here into YouTube. You can support the channel while you shop at tcgplayer.com by using my affiliate link in the video description, and you can play any deck anytime by using a cardhoarder.com loan account on Magic Online. If you want to wear your support, check out the merch store. And of course, thanks for being here. Now let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to another BoshNRoll video, where today, at the request of Patreon subscriber Ash, we are going into one of the weird corners of the Pauper metagame. This is Walls Combo. The deck is exactly what the name implies. There's a bunch of walls, and then you combo. You'll notice creatures with Defender, Secret Door, Cerulean Caretaker, Tinderwall, Overgrown Battlement, Drift of Phantasms, Tuk Rabblefort, Axebane Guardian. Those are all walls. The core here is Overgrown Battlement. It's a 2-mana 0/4. Tap, add a green for each creature with Defender you control. If you ever drafted Rise of the Eldrazi, you know this card is not so secretly busted. This thing just goes up and up so fast. Like, Soul Ring is a joke to this card. It makes so much mana so quickly. And then Axebane Guardian is the same thing, but costs 3, and you get X mana in any combination of colors, not just green. So what we're trying to do here is get Overgrown Battlement up and running into Axebane Guardian, and then we have zillions of mana, and what do you do with that? Well, what you want to do is Galvanic Alchemist, Soul Bond. You may pair this creature with another unpaired creature when either enters the battlefield. And as long as it's paired with another creature, each of those creatures has 2 and a blue, untap this creature. Therefore, Galvanic Alchemist, paired with Axebane Guardian, when you have 4 or more creatures with Defender in play, you tap this for blue, you get 4 blue, or, you know, whatever color, because this is any combination of colors. Tap this for 4 mana, one of it's blue, pay a blue and 2, untap it, you've net 1 mana. This is infinite mana when paired together. Then with your infinite mana, the ways to win the game are dealing 3 damage to your opponent a bunch of times. You can pay 8 for that pleasure. Or the Azarek Aloran combo of pay 5 mana, venture into the dungeon, activate only as a sorcery. One of the dungeons has a room that is your opponents lose 1 life, and you just wade your way through that dungeon over and over and over until the opponent is dead. Of course, this is one of those decks that works very differently in the real world compared to Magic Online. You cannot demonstrate a loop on Magic Online. You have to click through all of it. The Secret Door kill, if your opponent chooses not to concede, will take a very long time because you have to click through making unlimited mana, and then you have to spend 5 of it at a time. Like, this isn't cheap. Like, Azarek takes a long time to click through, and that's literally just an enters the battlefield trigger. This thing you have to make 5, pay 5, enter the dungeon, and there are a lot of rooms in that dungeon, and only one of them deals damage. So you have to go through, you have to pay something like 25 mana to deal 1 damage, and on Magic Online, that could be a big ask. Luckily, Valakut Invoker happens a lot faster than that, and there's also Annoyed Altasaur and Muldrifter that can attack in this deck, and whittle down life points that can save you some activations. This deck is not unplayable. It is part of, like, page 1 of MTG Goldfish's Pauper metagame. You don't have to go dig for it. It's there. So clearly people are out here playing it on Magic Online. There's going to be a lot of clicking, but I'm prepared for it. I've done worse on this channel. Tying the deck together is Winding Way and Lead the Stampede. Both of these are look at the top N cards of your library, where in Lead the Stampede's case it's 5, in Winding Ways it's 4. And you put all creatures revealed this way into your hand. But we got 8 ways to just reload the hand. Every card in the deck, other than the Winding Ways and the lands, is a creature. So every card that matters, you're going to be able to keep off these 2 cards. And my favorite piece of tech, Drift of Phantasms, which is a creature with Defender, if you just need one of those. and it also transmutes for all of your combo pieces and all your win conditions. Blue, blue 1, transmute this, search your deck for a 3-mana card. That's Galvanic Alchemist. That's Tuk Tuk Rubble Fort. That's Valakut Invoker. That's Axebane Guardian. I love Drift of Phantasms. I moneyed my first GP and got my first pro point playing Drift of Phantasms in Legacy Food Chain. It was a creature that you could tutor up with Fauna Shaman and then transmute for Food Chain. That was a thing I actually did. I wrote an article on StarCityGames.com if you want to go find that. It's from like 2010, 2011 maybe. I'm excited to transmute this card, is what I'm trying to say. In the sideboard, there's Ulamog's Crushers, if you just want to pivot and make a big idiot and start attacking. Some builds have Ulamog's Crusher in the main. We have not done that. We have Annoyed Altosaurs instead. I only made 2 changes from the version of the deck that Ash sent me. Ash had 3 Tuk Tuk Rubble Forts and 1 Drift of Phantasms. I've seen up to 4 drifts in the main deck looking at lists. I just wanted another one of that card. Rubble Fort seems to be like a one of in a lot of lists that I've seen posted, so I didn't want 3 of that card. Ended up with 2 and 2 there. Ash had 4 Annoyed Altosaur and 2 Mauldrifter. I went the other way. Just 3 and 3 split that thing. These are both card advantage, and Altosaur, as exciting as it is, this is like the Family Guy joke, right? It could be anything, even a Mauldrifter. If I was guaranteed to cascade into Mauldrifter every time, I would just play 4 Altosaurs, but having more Mauldrifters increases your likeliness of cascading into one, and also you are more likely to cascade into Quirion Ranger than you are into Mauldrifter, because there's just more of those. There's a lot of 4-ofs in the bottom half of this curve, and I just like Mauldrifter for raw card advantage compared to Altosaur's 6/5 body. Maybe that's a mistake, and the 6/5 is really important for the backup plan, but we'll find out together. That's the change I made. And the Drift of Phantasms was in the sideboard in Ash's list, and I added a Reaping the Graves there, which is a card that I've seen in posted lists of this deck. Really cool card. Return target creature from your graveyard to your hand, and it has Storm. If you end up paired against someone with a lot of removal or counter spells, you can just put your creatures out there one at a time, and then in the mid game you can get a couple things going, rebuy 3 or 4 of them, and then that should load up your combo forever. That's the deck. Let's go try to make infinite mana with walls. I'm on the draw in round 1. I am going to keep this hand. It doesn't really explode, but it does generate mana, and there's only 14 lands in this deck, so having 2 in the opener with a Quirion Ranger is pretty decent. Lead the Stampede, that's the sort of thing we're looking for. I'm going to lay it on Jasper Sentinel, because that is a card that takes time to get ready. Quirion Ranger can just arrive and tap immediately, or activate immediately. Here's Edict. Alright, looks like we're playing against mono black control. I wonder what that looks like in the grand scheme of things. This is a deck with a lot of removal. That's certainly the truth. If they Edict me again, I'm sacking Jasper Sentinel, because Quirion Ranger gives me 3. Okay. Chittering Rats doesn't matter. I'm about to draw some large number of cards. 1, 2, 3. Lead the Stampede. 2 lands. That seems like a lot. And Quirion Ranger can untap Jasper Sentinel and pick up my Forest, replay the Forest, which replays Jasper Sentinel, which can tap for green. By the way, Quirion Ranger is a broken Magic card if you've never played with it, and that's why. Let's hope we can avoid the Crypt Rats for a turn or 2 here. Chittering Rats. Not worried about that one. Witch's Cottage. Alright, they don't have a creature in their graveyard to regrow with that. Board to take 2 damage here. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Pick up 5 for an untap. Don't quite have 6 mana here. 2, 3. I think I want to lead the Stampede first. Or do I Axebane first? Can I do both? Pretty sure I can do both. Alright, yeah. Axebane seems really important here. And then tap for green. Quirion Ranger untaps Jasper Sentinel, picking up a land, and make another mana, and lead the Stampede again, putting 4 creatures in my hand, my god. So busted. And pass the turn. Sorry, Chittering Rats. It's time for the Gray Merchants to start happening. Oh, we got Tendrils. Okay. Killed my Axebane Guardian. It's alright. Ooh, a land. Retreat. The same amount of mana I had last turn, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, pick up 5. And yeah, that's... I'm going to spend another turn developing here. Battlement, Caretaker, and do I want Leaf Caller or do I want to sandbag that? Because that's my red mana for Invoker right now. Yeah, I think I'm just going to attack. They can remove my Battlement. That kind of sucks. But if they can't, they're in trouble. Pestilence, fuck. Okay, this card's going to be very difficult to beat. Alright, well, we've probably lost this game. I am going to block one of these rats with my Battlement. Okay, I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, Leaf Caller dies immediately. I'm a mana short on doing what I need to do here, which is Altasaur. I could transmute this turn if I play my Leaf Caller. 1, 2. Let me just count this real quick. This math is not intuitive to me at all. With all these creatures that tap for half of a mana, that's very weird. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I can get 6 mana here. And make a blue and make another blue. And transmute Drift. I don't want to cast Drift. That doesn't make any sense. Transmuting Drift does what? I can get Axebane Guardian and cast that. But they can Wrath. It's even worse than Wrath. My stupid Overgrown Battlement being a 0/4 lets them sweep up everything that matters and still have Pestilence around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And they can just 9 me next turn. I could just lead the Stampede here. If that picks up a Rubble Fort, I guess I'm going to lead the Stampede. Which also taps me out, which I'm not, of blockers, which I'm not like the most stoked about. Oh, cool. Just 3 spells in a land. All right. Yeah, the Pestilence killed me this game. If I had Quirion Ranger this turn, I could have chucked at least 1 Altasaur into play, maybe 2, if I had the 2 Quirion Rangers. And they can Pestilence for 3 to kill everything if they want to do that. Okay, they didn't do that. They gave me this turn to operate. Tinderwall. Cast that one. The land's really good too. Land 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here's Altasaur. See if I can make anything happen here. The Battlement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They draw a land, I'm just dead. But if they don't, maybe I get another turn here. They can 5 me with Pestilence, ping me with Witches. Okay, they are not using their Pestilence particularly aggressively, which I appreciate. I'm pretty sure this game should be over already. They should definitely at least Witches my Leaf Caller. Alright, not interested. I'll take it. Another land, and Battlement taps for 4, 5, 6, 7. Altasaur. How about a Muldrifter? Galvanic Alchemist. Don't mind if I do. Did I just win? Yeah, I'm going to Soul Bond with Overgrown Battlement. Annoyed Altasaur shows up, and then I get to make 4 mana, turn one of it blue, untap this. Okay, I mean, I have infinite mana. Just got to click through it. They could have broken this up earlier with Pestilence, like activated for 1. I tried untap in response, activated for 1 again, I think. But I definitely have too much mana. I can just combo in response to Pestilence or removal at this point. I think with the Witches involved, they definitely could have broken this up. I kind of want to play my Valakut Invoker and just show them that I have the kill, and maybe they'll concede. But if I put it into play, like they are a black deck with removal, and if they remove my win condition, then I no longer have said win condition. It's kind of a risk on like the honor of my opponent, which is not something I ever want to bet on, because your opponent does not have your best interest in mind. I guess I'll do it. Show them that I have the W here somewhere. Okay, yep, they are not interested in conceding. Okay, they finally figured out they can Pestilence in response here, but I can still combo in response. Valakut Invoker needs so much mana to kill your opponent. Holy guacamole. And this is the fast one. This isn't even Secret Door. They're at 17. I need to activate Invoker 6 times. I'm trying to do basic math while also trying to continue clicking. Yeah, 6 times 3 is 18. There's also 2 Pestilence activations on the stack, so I can do 1 less. And 8 times 6, 48. So I'm almost there. This is a very real strike against playing the stack in anything that matters. Like if you have a Pauper PTQ or something that you really can't afford to take L's due to the clock. If they had just activated Pestilence for 1 or tapped their witches to kill my snake guy, they would be winning this game easily. Almost there. Okay, I have 48. Sure. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and 18. Yeah, that took a lot of time on my clock. They have 21:45 on their clock. I have 10:58. That was a big ask. I hope that beat down Altasaur is a better plan for game 2. I definitely have to move in on Crusher. And I don't think I want the Dispels. Archer doesn't do anything. Drift can get the combo together faster, if that's where I want to be, but I'm actually trying to move on into like attack mode here. Reap is like basically for this matchup, but at the same time, any game where they kill a bunch of my stuff and then I take time building up my Reaps is not gonna do it. I'm gonna board out a secret door because that is not gonna be my plan. It's just not an option with 10 minutes on the clock. Ranger is so good. Leaf Caller just won that game. Well, my opponent not prioritizing Leaf Caller won that game. They had 2 different onboard ways to remove it and chose not to. Tinder Wall. I think I just want all the ramp. Yeah, I'm just cutting Secret Door entirely. It is a defender creature that can curve into battlement, which helps even in the fast attacking game build of this deck, but still not really where I want to be. I board out a Drift because like comboing's not really the plan. All right, I'm gonna do this. If I knew game 1 would take that long to execute, I'd probably just have 4 Crushers in the sideboard. Just always be on big 8-drop aggro post board. My hand is really good here. I have 2 lands, battlement. I have my juke of Crusher. Their deck's full of removal, unfortunately, but I hope that the Crusher is something they're not ready for. And I'm going to lead on Jasper Sentinel. That one's harder to kill. It's a 1/2. Oh, nice. Backup battlement. All right, battlement, and then tap both of these for Ranger. That's a lot of material. If they try to edict me, my battlement's going to be pretty safe. Crypt Rats. Okay. That one's tougher to get through. Can I get Crusher into play right now? If I play battlement, if they just like X equals 4 next turn, my squad is fucked. But I think I need the second battlement, and then 1, 2, and tap this. 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 mana next turn. I could play the Guardian and just force the Crypt Rat. I'm going to attack with my creatures. They're not going to block this. Let's see if they get cute with the Crypt Rat, or if they just nuke for 4 right now. They should nuke. Alright, looks like they figured it out. Alright, that sucks. I should probably just concede this game and have time for game 3. Oh yeah, definitely conceding to Thorn of the Black Rose. Okay, I win this game on the play because I get to get my Crushers down before their Crypt Rat sweeps up my business. But we were on the draw, so didn't have to show them Crusher. I'll take that. Don't think my plan is getting better. Let's go. No lands in this opener. Gonna mulligan that one. 14 land deck. That's gonna happen sometimes. I'll keep this one and bottom and Axebane Guardian. This hand really needs another land or Aquarian Ranger very quickly. I held on to the Altasaurs because that's my payoff, and they just have so much removal. Could easily smell weakness here and put me in the dirt. Even like an Edict here is devastating because my creature needs to tap my other creature. Sign in Blood. I'm okay with that. Come on, deck. Oh, Sign in Blood moved to discard, the old draw one card. Okay, make green, play Battlement. Not pretty, but we're getting there. Sign in Blood again, nice. Hit their land drop, that's disappointing. Reap is a good one. Then green, play Battlement. Battlement taps for 3 right now, which is not enough to do anything. Next turn I can Altasaur if these creatures are still in play, which might be a big ask, but I'm asking. Rats, okay. That's not good enough yet. Oh, drawing the land. You're in trouble now. 4, or 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Altasaur, let's go. Winding Way, hell yeah. I'm gonna choose creature. Quarian Ranger. Do you do anything I care about? Or do I need to save you for next turn? I can play Ranger, untap Battlement. That's 3, 4, 5 mana. Galvanic Alchemist. I don't have a filter right now. Right, I think I'm just gonna attack with my Jasper Sentinel. And if they want rats for 4, I'm just beating down with a 6/5 creature. And I'm ready to rebuild. Oh, they had a land, right. 6/5. That dies to rats. Rats is the right thing to say there. And here's Quarian Ranger. A little late to the party. I think if I have Quarian Ranger 1 turn earlier, we're in business. Oh god. Cottage can regrow their rats. So, Mono Black Control is one of these ancient Pauper decks that's just like not really part of the meta anymore, but people still like it. And it's the only deck with this many sweepers in the entire format. And it's the only deck that can sweep up an X5 or an X4 in the format. The sweepers in the format deal 1 or 2 damage. All right. I've seen enough. We can back it up. This is a weirdly bad matchup from Magic's storied past. On to the next one. I'm on the draw in round 2. I've kept this hand. It ramps into Lead the Stampedes, more than one of them. Big fan of blue strategy. Let's see if they are like Force Spike blue or what we're working with here. Blue-black. Chosen the horrible 8th edition art. White border. They could Spellstutter Sprite this, which would be really disappointing. Cool. I'm not going to attack because I learned recently in a different video I was recording that Jasper Sentinel has reach. So, I guess... I can float red in response to their cast down. I guess if they were going to Spellstutter Sprite, it would have happened already. Okay, leaving back Jasper Sentinel in case I want to block a flash flying creature that would enable a ninja. It just doesn't make sense when I just cast a 1-drop. Yeah, I missed the damage there. That's on me. Agony Warp. Tough. Okay. So this is a blue-black control of some variety. But this is exactly the type of opponent you want to slam Lead the Stampede against. Bango. Handful of cards. Gonna have to discard one of these forests. Frantic Inventory. Alright, their deck rules. Big fan of what they're doing over there. Classic blue-black control. I'm gonna play Ranger and Axebane Guardian. This is the configuration that does the most damage if they don't react to it. And I want to make them react to me proactively with removal spells rather than get to hold up counter spells. Diabolic Edict. Yeah, Quarian Ranger is gonna take the fall on this one. My hand's full of blue cards. Ooh. Mully, 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 mully. I'll make blue. 2, 3, 4, 5. A Small Drifter. Yeah, Maul Drifter is like there were a number of different things I could have done that turn. Like I could have tried to lead into some other walls and then tap Axebane for more, but Maul Drifter is just like the arch nemesis of control decks in Pauper. Tinderwall. They have foretold a card. I have to imagine it's Behold the Multiverse. Tinderwall represents a lot of mana on this board. 1, 2, 6, 7. I can cast Altasaur right now. I could also Rubble Fort right now off of Tinderwall. I'm going to float blue red and cast Rubble Fort. Why did I do that? I just tapped my mana wrong. I was supposed to use the blue for Secret Door. Now I've just put this spell on the stack without any follow-up plan for it. Casting down my Axebane Guardian. Okay. It could have been worse. Now they are tapped out on Lead the Stampede. Another Tuk-Tuk and another Timberwall. Bunch of Winding Ways headed for the bottom. All Drifter get in there. This is the game where Altasaur is the job. Oh. That's a Maul Drifter. They don't have a blue source right now, though. But any of my blue sources will have haste if I find them. I think I just have to Altasaur here. There's just not anything better to do with my mana. Altasaur hit Jasper Sentinel, which is actually good because that's a colored source. I can tap my Rubble Fort to play Secret Door, and they can decide if fighting over my mana or fighting over my 6/5 haste trample is more important. Excluding Altasaur, okay. And because this has haste, let's make blue mana while we still can. Play Secret Door. Counterspell, okay. I strongly prefer that my Jasper Sentinel resolved over Secret Door or Altasaur. I guess Altasaur would end this game pretty quickly. Ooh, Evankar's Justice with buyback. That's fucked. That's going to be hard to beat. Jasper Sentinel. Take blue for Maul Drifter. That was a good top deck. And all my creatures having haste is pretty awesome. And there we go. Drew another 0/3 to punch through this Justice. I believe this card deals 2 damage to everything. Or is it all creatures? I'll actually read it this time that's on the stack. Each creature and player. Yeah, so they are hurting themselves while they do this. Oh no, they've deployed the last card in their hand. That finishes off my Haste Fort. But I can redeploy Haste Fort with Tinderwall this turn. A relentless assault here. Okay. Tinderwall. Red. Haste Fort. Caretaker. Battlement. Fuck yeah. Alright, 3 mana. And then an extra red. I think I want to just continue the attack here. This is also a 2/3. Yeah. I thought it was the right play when I thought this was a 2/2, but it's randomly a 2/3. All of my creatures in play are X3 or bigger. And next turn, I'll be able to actually Lightning Bolt with this thing. Oh, you have a Maul Drifter. Card's so good. Maul Drifter into Preordain. Mirror Aqueduct. They topped Preordain. That's scary. But I did get a turn. Oh! 3 mana. 4, 5, 6, 7. Altasaur. Hasty Altasaur. Hastosaurus Alt. Hit Axebane Guardian. Okay. It'll be hard to react to all of these things. Alright, removing the haste from my creatures. That makes sense. Does making a mana here matter? I can make a blue, and I could cast Drift. Does casting Drift matter? It is a 0/5 flying. That taps for extra mana in the future. Okay. I am going to cast Drift of Phantasm Sister. This Axebane Guardian and this Altasaur is still chilling. 0/5 and attack for 2. Their hand is Evankar's Justice and a land and a card they put on top with Preordain. Oh, can they Justice twice? Uh-oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, they can Justice twice and sweep this board. Whoops. May have overcommitted, but that doesn't even kill Altasaur. No, we're good. We're good. I had not stopped to consider double Justice, but it's not good enough against Altasaur. Oh, now it is. All right, I've untapped again. Their only card in hand is Justice, so now I just win, right? 1, 2, make... Okay, they're just conceding. Yeah, I think they're pretty close to dead on board with the Invoker, but drawing Alchemist just comboed off. Yeah, Muldrift Altasaur. That's the name of the game here. Dispel's going to be really good against this opponent. I believe this is a Reaping the Graves matchup as well. I'm not convinced it's a Crusher matchup, because they have cast downs and edicts and counterspells and excludes and all of these things that if they use them up front, like if they sandbag that stuff for Crusher, then Crusher is just an 8 mana creature that dies to Doomblade. If they use it up front, then It's those creatures that get me the mana to play Crusher. It's not like I'm a Tron deck that's quietly assembling 8 mana without my creatures in play. That was awesome, though. Relentless attacking. And my creatures having haste against the control deck was a big deal. Big fan of Tuk Tuk Rebel for it. Drift of Phantasms can get the Reaping the Graves. Just don't think I want the Secret Door. I just, like... I'm struggling so hard to imagine a game state where I'm actually able to click through that. It took almost 10 minutes to kill with Invoker. Like, actually going through the Secret Door, if my opponent doesn't concede, is, I think, impossible. I guess if you have a lot of... It depends on how much mana you're tapping for, because when I comboed in round 1, Battlement was netting 1 mana per iteration, but if I'm getting, like, 4 or 5 per iteration, I guess it would happen a lot faster. I think if I'm going down on Secret Doors, I can also go down on Drift, and I'm just playing this value game with Altosaurs and Muldrifters while threatening a combo with all my other creatures, and then Reaping the Graves and Dispel are my counterplay. This makes sense to me. Uh-oh, 1 lander with no 1-drop, no elf. I think I have to mulligan this. There we go. I'm going to keep this and put Invoker on the bottom. Juka bogging me right off the bat. That's fair. Okay, my game plan here is laid out ahead of me pretty clearly, which is make this elf do its job and ramp up into these Altosaurs. Like Winding Way, lead the Stampede, it's all here. Okay, drawing the land was pretty good. Now I can Ranger and Battlement. Getting Battlement down is a lot more important than leading the Stampede or Winding Way here. The land was such a good draw, too. Dismal Backwater gains a life. Chainer's Edict. That's going to sacrifice Jasper Sentinel. That's the worst card in play by a lot. Another land. I can Winding Way for creatures. Like, lead the Stampede. Yeah, I think I want a Winding Way. Okay, cool. I hit 3 there. That's a good number. And then Caretaker, and because I Winding Way'd first, now I can also lead the Stampede. Oh, they're just conceding. They've had enough. Yeah, I was about to lead the Stampede and just pass the turn with 5 to 7 cards in hand. Yeah, that was great. Outmuscled this control deck. That's the difference between decks with sweepers and not sweepers, like mono black versus blue black. Blue black really relies on the 1-for-1s of like cast down and counterspell, then reloads with frantic inventory, compared to just like Crypt Rats or Pestilence. Just very different game plan. On to the next round. We're a few rounds into the video. Thanks for sticking with me. Friendly reminder that if you're still here and having fun, smash that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, you can use my affiliate link for TCG Player to support the channel while you shop for cards, and you can try any deck anytime with a cardhoarder.com loan account for Magic Online. All these links are in the video description below. Now back to the league. I'm on the play in round 3. This hand's kind of weird. It's just like very slow. I'm going to mulligan this. I don't know, 2 lands plus Winding Way. Alright, I'll keep it. And hope my opponent's not a fast deck. Like this deck only has 14 lands in it, which we've seen some mulligans as a result of in previous games. I just feel like Winding Way is the way. Name creature. Okay, cool. My opponent is on Izzet Skred. I think that's the only deck that plays Volatile Fjord. I can play Caretaker and Tinderwall. Mana is starting to come together here. Augur of Bolas. If they look at the bottom 3 cards of their deck. Oh, found a Skred. Okay, they missed their land drop though. Skred doesn't currently kill any of the creatures that are in play. On either side. That's worth, which is nothing. Okay, right now while they're tapped out, how deep can I go here? Can I get this Axeman Guardian into play and tap it? I can make 1 mana by tapping Tinderwall, and then 2 by sacking Tinderwall, which plays Rebel for it, which plays Tinderwall, which gets Axeman Guardian into play, that taps for 3. Oh yeah. I hope I did that math correctly. I tap this, sack it for 2. Rebel Fort. and then Tinderwall, sack for 2, Axebane Guardian, taps for 3. I'm gonna just lead Stampede here. That was pretty sick. And put 3 cards in my hand and pass. They need to find a land to cast this Scred. The Scred's really good here, obviously, but they are on defense right now. Frantic Inventory, 1 draw to rule them all. They need an untapped red snow land at this point, or they're dead. They chose the honorable death. Nice. Okay, maybe I was off base shaving one of these rubble forts, because all of the most messed up things we've done in these past 2.5 matches have involved this card. Maybe my love for Drift of Phantasms led me astray. This is a Scattershot Archer matchup. It might be an Ulamog's Crusher matchup. Probably not. Dispel is good. Like, if Crusher gets into play, they basically have nothing to say about it. It just is going to kill them, unless they have, like, 2 Screds. But I think I'd rather Altasaur and Muldrift them. Here's this Secret Door getting boarded out again. I wonder if I would feel differently about this card in paper play. It just seems so indefensibly slow in Moto play. Orochi Leaf Caller. I mean, getting the other colors is important, but I don't know. I'm just... Does it make any sense to try to insulate against Spellstutter Sprite, or are they just going to always... Oh, wait. I'm boarding in reactive blue cards. I should probably not cut any of my color fixers. Okay. Drift of Phantasms, and I have these 4 reach creatures, or 3 reach creatures in the main deck, and then 3 more at the top end. Yeah, I think that comboing out is going to be a big ask, and I should just try to go value. Because they're going to have Pyroblast after board, or they could have access to Pyroblast, and they are going to have Lightning Bolt and Scred. Yeah, I think I want to just board out most of my blue cards, and anything that's clunky, and just try to be an efficient, big mana Altasaur deck. I'm going to keep this. Build turn 1 Scattershot Archer. Oh god, and turn 2 Scattershot Archer. And the great thing about Scattershot Archer is it means that Spellstutter Sprite is turned off. I can just jam my Quirion Ranger fearlessly into this open mana. I mean, they could actual counterspell. Probably should if they can. Oh no, Lightning Bolt. My homie. Alright, well, that is not the worst thing that could happen to me this turn, because I have another one of those. Getting that Ranger counterspelled would have been a pretty big deal, though. I'm going to play Battlement here. The first of many. Alright, that's fine. And attack with my creatures. I can untap and ping if I need to do that, but I'm not sure what the board state would look like if I needed to do that. Spellstutter Sprite is back on now, but it doesn't counter Overgrown Battlement. I am going to attack. Yeah, that's fine. I can still pick up my Forest, because I was still going to cast a 1-drop this turn, and trading this off in combat is worth so much more to me than... Like, I would rather just have these creatures in play. And I'm going to play the one that's a wall rather than the one with reach, because they're just really not representing anything I need to worry about right now. Augur. Looks at the bottom 3 cards of the deck, as it does. And they had a Scred. Okay. Battlement. Sentinel. Pass the turn. We're going into Muldrifter Town next turn. They're down to 2 cards in hand. Ninja's not going to work, because I have so many blockers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Muldrifter. Let's go. They're in the counterspell or bust phase of this game. I'm going to play Tinderwall. If they have a Spellstutter Sprite, they can have it. But there it is. This definitely feels like we're in the muscle zone. Unless they have some sort of gigantic sweeper. I'm going to lead the Stampede first, because I actually think Muldrifter's better. A lead and 2 lands went to the bottom. Found an Axebane Guardian. Tinderwall. Okay, Spellstutter Sprite can get that one. We go 3. Nice sneak in Axebane Guardian. This taps for 3, which means this will tap for 4. Yeah, I can. Okay, Axebane Guardian. Tap this for 4, and then make a blue. Just molly. Oh, this is disgusting. I am genuinely disgusted. Alright. start the Muldrifter beatdowns. My party's over here. I'm out of things that attack or pressure the board or draw cards for the moment. But Muldrifter is a good card. And my Sentinel has reach, so I can just keep blasting here. Battlement. And these decks don't play... What's that card anymore? Swirling Sandstorm? At least I hope not. Most of the sweepers in the format that this deck would actually play deal like 1 or 2. Yeah, there's the 2-mana sweeper, or the 2 damage sweeper that I was prepared for. I expected that one to be in there, and the Muldrifters wouldn't go the whole distance. That did sweep up all my reach creatures and flying creatures, though. But I have 1 fuckzillion mana. Need an Altasaur at this point. Alright. Lightning Bolt. That's fine. Now nobody's doing anything until somebody draws a good card. I think I have higher impact cards, but they have more cards that matter. Just like any Ponder or Preordain is really great here for them. No land drop, no spell for the last 2 turns out of them. Oh, I just drew the best card in my deck. Don't worry about it. 5, 6, 7. Altasaur. It's Caretaker. This is what I was talking about with Altasaur in the deck tech, where it's just like your cascades aren't actually on average that good. So we did cascade into win the game once already this league, so I can't make fun of it too much. Inventory for 1. Bottom topped Preordain, Frantic Inventory. They must have Scred. They found the land to Scred my Altasaur. Doing it in my upkeep just in case I have a trick. I think that's probably a mistake because in green, if I have a trick, it's going to be a pump spell, which lets me attack for more. Anyway, here's Winding Way. Just reload this hand, please. Not a very inspiring reload. I'm going to play out the walls and one of the rangers. Like running another ranger into Electrickery or any whatever sweeper they have doesn't seem that important. And now we're chilling. This is where Reaping the Graves would break the game open, but I didn't board it in. And I definitely should have. Muldrifter. I'm going to wait on that until I can cast multiple spells in the same turn and try to outmuscle their counter spells. Augur. Frantic Inventory. That's cool. Okay, this is the type of thing that might bait a counter spell. Didn't fall for it. Okay. Inventory to draw 2. That's pretty good. I have so much mana that... Is there an Altasaur left in my deck? I think I've done 2. 1... Oh no, I've done 2 Muldrifters. I'm out of Muldrifters. The last one is in my hand. I have 2 more Altasaurs, though. Now they're on the slow grind with Relic. Oh, I guess they were expecting Reaping the Graves? Is that what the Relic is for? Because I didn't do anything out of my graveyard in game 1. Here's Axebane Guardian. We're going to fight over that? Nope. Augur. Found Frantic Inventory. This one's an Ancestral Recall. Drawing another land and passing the turn. There is a real universe where I deck them. Just floating that out there. Like if they can't do damage to me, I'm still at 20. I have a lot of protection from anything that would happen on the ground. Okay, there's this card. Now they're the Monarch, which just decks them twice as fast. This has come up in recent Pauper videos on my channel, where like decking blue-red is a real thing you can do. I played Elves recently on the channel and just tapped Well-Wisher a bunch of times and almost decked my opponent. Okay, I'll make red. See if they want to fight over Tuk Tuk. If I can take the Monarchy, I think I just win this game. But I don't actually have a good way to do that. They have 4 blockers to my 2 attackers. Play Quirion Ranger for a 3rd attacker. No, I'm still just gonna chill back here. Guess I don't really have a good answer to this 5-2. And just attack into my squad over and over again. If I double block it with anything, then they could just Lightning Bolt and get a giant blowout. So that does let me attack back with my squad of hasty creatures. Yeah, I'll just take 5. They have so many cards in hand. I'm not going to be able to deck them if they're able to attack for 5. Okay, they Scredded my creature, my Scattershot, which means they have Spell Stutter in hand. Quirion Ranger. I'm just going to cast 3 spells this turn. Quirion Ranger. Currently have 3 attackers. They're being so patient on this Muldrifter, it's driving me nuts. I wish they would just play bad. I think next turn I triple block the Commodore, but 1 Electrickery sends me into the trash. Well, I will do what I can about this. Every creature with power is blocking. Right, we're in damage, so that pressure's off. They have another one? Okay. Got me. Need an Altasaur. Finding way. This one's probably going to get countered. Yep. And I will do my best here. I'm sure they have a counterspell in their hand. Their 6-card hand that they've seen most of their deck at this point in the game. Yep. Okay. Alright. I think we just lost. And maybe I should have been more patient on that. It's just like, how many draws do I have that actually matter? Like if I try to set up like Winding Way, Muldrifter all in one turn, is probably how I was supposed to play this game. But yeah, this 5-2 is chewing up my walls. Even as trample, so chump blocking isn't even a thing. Okay, I'll concede this game in the interest of time. Yeah, there was a turn very early on in this game where I thought we were winning easily, and then just ran out of gas. Which makes me want more gas in the deck. With the Reaping the Graves, 2 Crushers. I mean, Secret Door also, even just like when I'm not comboing off, breaks open a board state like that where I just have zillions of mana and nowhere to really go with it. I think Rubble Fort is less important than I thought it was, certainly in post-board games. And maybe I don't need both Secret Doors. If I'm cutting my Rubble Forts, then Tinder Wall becomes less important. I mean, it is a green wall, for one. That matters. Do I want the Crushers? I think I do. Yeah, just like anything that can make my opponent react to me is important. And I do want a Rubble Fort still in the deck. Orochi Leafcaller is really important with all these different colored sideboard cards in the deck. I'm going to shave another Tinderwall. And maybe I don't play both Crushers, just have one in there. Because I do need my engine set up before I can pay off. And I don't want my hand just cluttered up with Crushers. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. It's a little awkward that I didn't bring in Reaping of the Graves, and then they brought in Graveyard Hate for Reaping the Graves, and then even after seeing the Graveyard Hate, now I want Reaping the Graves. So, just kind of awkward there. I'm going to keep this hand. Pretty heavy on this Axebane Guardian, but I think that's good. I have my one of Rubble Fort here. Okay, what can I do this turn? I do have kind of a lot of mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. Right, that's not quite enough to do everything. I don't want this Axebane Guardian in play. It sucks that it gets bolted so easily, but I could also just Rubble Fort now and set up Axebane for next turn. Rubble Fort and Tinderwall. I think that's the way to do this. Like if they Augur or anything this turn, I get to Muldrifter next turn. They hold up Counterspell. It has to be actual Counterspell because Spellstutter Sprite's not going to affect the board at all. They could Lightning Bolt my Rubble Fort. Scred isn't good enough here. They bottomed both of the cards off Preordain. Okay, let's cook. Guardian. Did have the Lightning Bolt. Fuck my life. Alright, fine. Whatever. At least Lightning Bolt targeted that and not Guardian. Like, ultimately, one of these cards is better than the other. But you can answer both, so fuck me. Alright, snuck in a Lead the Stampede here. Needed that pretty desperately. Sent 2 leads to the bottom, not excited about that. And I'm going to play Caretaker now. The only card they don't know in my hand right now is Muldrifter. I would really like to sneak it in. They're just passing the turn. Scattershot Archer's a dope one. I'm going to lead on Battlement, because they can't spell stutter that. And then if they want to spell stutter Quirion Ranger, that lets me resolve Scattershot Archer. I think is more important. None of my creatures currently have reach, though. They can ninja me right now if they want to. Yeah, no ninja, just damage. Bolting my Archer. Okay. Moment of truth. Blue, 2, 3, 4, 5. Muldrifter. Please don't have Counterspell. Alright, we resolved. We're in there. And here's Caretaker. I'm out of gas, but I have hoarded in all of my gas this game. Augur, Scred. Yeah, they can Scred my Muldrifter and just keep attacking. So I think saving Scred for something more important makes sense. Yeah, I just got nothing going on over here. Need a payoff, quick. Got 5 cards in their hand, one of them Scred. Oh, they did bring in Pyroblast. I have a couple targets for that in the deck. And they have Ninja. Okay. You're definitely getting, is it Scredded here? Oh, nice. They tapped out of Spellstutter for 1 turn. This is the window I needed. Let's hit. Oh, baby, Altasaur. Okay, if I play Axebane Guardian. 1, 2, 3. Play Axebane. Play Caretaker. I think I can sneak all these in. Because I'm casting this card off Battlement. 6, 7, Altasaur. Scattershot Archer. Sneak that in. Okay, that was a good turn. They need 1 more land before Scred can kill Altasaur. Preordain's pretty good at finding lands. They top bottom. They did find the land. Got Altasaur. That's the turn. Okay, so they have a Spellstutter in their hand that is a blank for my Scattershot. I'm going to play Quarian Ranger. And that resolves. Don't have any attackers, but neither do they. Augur. No counterspell. Okay. Oh. Gonna Scattershot this. That's a forced play. I was gonna do it for free at the end of the turn anyway. Should I play this card? No, they have sweepers in their deck that just cleans this up. I think Draw Go favors them eventually. I'm just not gonna play anything that dies to Fiery Cannonade. Cycling Ash Barrens. Be a great time to draw Secret Door. The maligned but quietly insane Secret Door. Yeah, the value door is something that hadn't occurred to me until sideboarding for this game. Oh, this will certainly demand an answer. I'm going to sit on it until I can pressure their counterspells. Spreading my Archer. Okay. It's dead. Spellstutter Sprite is back on the menu. Oh, these lands. This is where the low land count is supposed to pay out, but I've drawn 9 lands instead of... There are only 14 in the deck. 9 of them are accounted for, halfway through the deck. Okay, that's a real card. I'm just going to pile up real cards. I have so much mana that I can basically play any number of things. I just need enough things. Axebane Guardian. That's a good one to have in play. I don't think it's good enough that they would react to it with a counterspell. But it is one that I want around for my go-off turn when I decide to go off. Ooh, the door. All right, that's another one. I now have 3 powerful things I can do with this buxillion mana that I have. Okay, now we're cooking. I believe they will Spellstutter Sprite Aquarian Ranger. Just gonna start sniffing out these counterspells. All right, didn't fall for it. And they have 7 cards in their hand. I mean, they're not really doing anything. Just pass the turn. They didn't fall for my trick, so I'm just going to keep amassing over here. Go, another one. Okay, tap this for 7, play Altasaur, see what happens. Hit Jasper Sentinel. There's the counter spell. And they have 6 cards left in their hand. One of them is Spellstutter Sprite. And maybe I shouldn't have done that. I should have waited. Maybe I'm being a coward, but I know what this deck's capable of, and as soon as my hand is empty, they're going to win the game. All right, only 4 lands left in the deck. Eventually, they're going to start missing land drops and have to go to discard, and then they're going to get itchy and try to do stuff. 3 lands left in the deck. Fiery Cannonade. That kills some of my things. Okay, some of my things are dead. Do they have 2 of them? Okay, good. I would have been really worried if they had 2 of those. Just actually sweep my board. That's what I'm talking about, though. Like, that card wasn't particularly great. I think they're just getting itchy about going to hand size and starting to spew off cards wherever they can, like the Spellstutter Sprite. I'll play another Sentinel. Now I've seen the sweeper, I can start dumping out the things that would have gotten swept. Frantic Inventory. Okay, that's the first one of those somehow, where they're 36 cards into their deck with their first Frantic Inventory. Evolving Wilds. They might have, what, 1 left? Okay, think they're probably out of lands. I guess I don't actually know the counts right now. This spell is a game changer. Okay, I'm just gonna keep passing the turn. We're gonna keep playing this control game. I have 5 cards in my hand that matter, and they have 6 cards in their hand total. So every card in their hand has to matter on a turn we go for it. And if I keep drawing important cards like Winding Way, then eventually I'll have just more hits in my hand than they have cards in theirs. And that's what I'm playing to right now. Orochi Leafcaller. I'm going to start with that. Being able to turn all this green mana into any color is a big deal. A Winding Way. Unfortunately, I did just cast these in an order that plays into Spell Stutter. Fuck. Yeah, I could have done better there. Because now my 3-drop doesn't make sense to cast. But it does make sense to cast my 1-drop now. Blue, play Secret Door. Pyroblast. Okay, I can Dispel Pyroblast. This Door is actually just busted on this board. Okay, 2 Pyroblasts gone. Now it's Muldrifter time. Alright, another Pyroblast. They really brought in all those, didn't they? Blue, Muldrifter. 3 cards left in their hand. Now I'm getting worried. They've actually answered all these things very cleanly. Oh, fuck. Alright, Frantic Inventory in response. Counterspell. Alright, last chance. If I get Spellstutter sprited here, I deserve to lose. Because I could have sequenced this in a way that Spellstutter doesn't counter it. Inventory. Please miss, please miss, please miss, please miss. No, they're tapping mana. No! Jesus. Okay, my big flurry missed. God, this deck is so good. That Frantic Inventory is really busted. Okay. That hurts. So they have cast a lot of Frantic Inventories, and the decking strategy is back on the table. They don't have a Commodore yet. I don't have anything that can block flying. They did pick off my Reach creature. There's a Scred in hand right now. That was brutal. Maybe I got impatient. Like, I wasn't ready to go to discard yet. I'm sure that I could have won this game. If I lose it, it's because I got impatient and started just spewing off spells. Alright, they have 2 cards in their hand, one of them Scred. I hope the other's not a counterspell. Oh my god. It is. Alright. Well, we have gotten them almost empty here. Preordain's a good one. I'm on a 6-turn clock. I get 5 draw steps on this current board. They bottomed both of their Preordain cards. They have 10 cards left in their deck. Awkwardly, I think Weather the Storm would break this game open. Alright, there's the Commodore. So their deck just got smaller. Alright, Winding Way. Come on, let's hit. You're out of counterspells. Creatures, load me up. Battlement. None of these interact with flyers, unfortunately. I'm going to cast them all, though. I am in the miserable position of needing to absorb damage off this Commodore. And I know they have Scred in their hand, so they can just, like, punch through. I'm just going to block Commodore with 2 0/3s. If they want to Scred that to push damage through or get a 2-for-1, they can. But those are my least important creatures in play right now. I guess I'm supposed to sandbag some of these 1-drops in case I draw Reap. Yeah, because now Reaping the Graves just gets countered. Yeah, I should have held back some of my 1s. But instead I drew the last land in my deck. Very close, if not there. Played Ash Barrens as a land. Okay, now the really horrible blocking starts. I'm going to block one of the Commodores with the 2 creatures and just get blown out by Scred on that regard. I put 0/3s in front of the other one. The trample damage is really bad too, so I'll just pile up a bunch of battlements on here. Okay. Trying to absorb damage here. There's the Scred. Yep, we knew about that. Yeah, we didn't know about that. That is an extra damage, an extra card, and a Spellstutter sprite in their hand. They should decline this draw, probably. Though, I'm close enough to dead, they should probably take the draw. If there's any lightning bolts in their deck, they want to find them. There's Reaping the Graves, which I think is too late. So, if I can get them to cast any spells on their turn, there might be a world here. If they just turn all their creatures sideways, I think I'm dead, including the Augurs. But if I can get them to, like... Oh, fuck. Alright, well, that is a spell. And then Tap this for a bunch of black. Reaping the Graves to pick up. You know they have a Spell Stutter in their hand, so I can't get back Secret Door. I think it has to be Invoker. Invoker and Muldrifter, probably. And Muldrifter is better than Altasaur here. That Relic was pretty solid. Picked up Muldrifter, picked up Invoker, Relic resolves. And now I just take a gajillion in combat. If there's a Lightning Bolt even in their deck, I am dead here. Here come all the creatures. Block Ninja. Block Trample Daddy. Block Trample Daddy. This 5 damage no matter how I slice it. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is currently 4 damage. Alright. Those are my blocks. Dead to everything. Yep. Okay. Yeah, the turn we went for it, I should have been more patient. Like I described, eventually we'll have more cards in hand, or more bangers in hand than they have cards. And then I just took action before that was true. And the board state wasn't devolving. I wasn't losing. Like I threw this game away. This was mine to win. Like, if I just wait even until I have like Reaping the Graves, and at the end of that big like back and forth, they counter my first 6 things, I reap back 7, or I guess if it was a counter spell over 6 things, reap back 12 things. Yeah, I fucked this game up. This was mine to win, and I threw it away. On to the next round. On the draw in round 4. I'm going to keep this hand. It's a 1-lander, but it has Tinderwall, and I'm on the draw. Paramorphic Expanse. Don't like that. Gonna be another Blue Fairies deck. Here's Tinderwall. Yep, Basic Island. My biggest nemesis. Why can't I just pod race against Bogles or some shit? Give me that matchup. Okay, land please. Not a land. I think I'm required to just jam X-Bane Guardian and hope to whatever god you believe in that it resolves. Okay, here it is. Alright, it resolved. No Lightning Bolt. No Snap. Oh god, if I lose to Snap, I'll be disappointed. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Put it in my veins. Yeah, sometimes you draw 11 of your 14 lands in the first 20 cards of your deck, and sometimes you don't have a second land at all. Oracle. Okay, so this is not fairies. This is familiars, probably. If they've Oracle and Snap. Land? Nope, no chance. I did keep a 1-lander. Don't get me wrong. I know who's responsible for this. But I didn't know they were a blue deck at the time. And it's definitely familiars. Alright, land. And there's nothing I can do here. This doesn't have for mana on its own. Some builds have Llanowar Elves in it, and I think, having played it now, I think that's probably pretty smart. Alright, I've had enough. Next game. If my deck didn't care about the clock so much, I'd probably try to grind this out, see what happens, but they have 6 cards in their hand. They're doing everything they want to do, and I'm just not. And I have a combo in my deck that takes 10 plus minutes to execute. This is not the game. Okay, Reaping the Graves. I don't think I want Reaping the Graves. This matchup isn't really about that. Matchup is about killing them, I think. I don't have any graveyard hate or removal in the deck. I just have these counter spells and try to go fast. Against the deck with Snap, I don't really know that I want Ulamog's Crusher. But if they're snapping my Crusher, they're not snapping their combo pieces. Scattershot Archer, if I get 2 of them in play, could like control Muldrifters or fairies, but yeah, I don't think that's where I want to be. That was really bad, actually. Yeah, this one is a pod race. The Rubble Fort's in. The Drift of Phantasm's in. Secret Door I probably do want. It's weird because I haven't focused in sideboarding on the combo yet. I've only ever trimmed on combo to be more fair, and I'm trying to do the opposite thing here. And maybe I don't want 2 Crushers. Like, there's no world where I cut Muldrifter. I just can't live in that society. And maybe it is just Drift of Phantasms, and I gotta play to draw cards. And maybe this Crusher is just a bad idea. Just bringing in my Dispels and trying to make this happen. So if I'm trying to make it happen, Drift is a lot better. And God, I just clicked a random card. I'm out of time. I probably should. I'm looking at Altasaur as probably not great in this matchup. Yeah, I cut a Tinderwall and a Caretaker, which in Caretaker is definitely the wrong cut, at least compared to Jasper Sentinel, because one of them's a wall and one isn't. Yikes. I have a 2-lander. Gain 1 life land. Okay. Now I have 4 mana worth of stuff to do. I am gonna commit to the Guardian and play the Ranger. Because Ranger gives me 3 mana next turn, even if Guardian gets snapped. And if it doesn't, it's even better. Preordain, cool. You like those. Top bottom the Preordain. Azorius Chancery picks up life gain land. And they have to go to discard because that's how Karu lands work. Okay, I can go 1, 2, 3. I can cast Drift of Phantasms, then cast Lead the Stampede. Or I can cast Lead the Stampede and see what happens. I think I just want the Drift in play because it's extra mana. As much as I would have liked to transmute it, I just think that this is going to pay out more. Tap for green. Yeah, Lead the Stampede seems better than Ranger and pick up another land here. Oh, just 5 cards. I'll take them. And attack for 1. The old 5-card Lead the Stampede. Thanks, deck. Let's see if we're dead to their combo now. Life gain land is back. Okay, any defender I can get into play is free, or any 1-mana defender is free. And want another Quirion Ranger in play. I think I need to tap this for green and untap this with my forest. Play my forest. With my floating mana, I can play Battlement. Also play Axebane Guardian number 2. This is good for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana now. Like Quirion Ranger, untap Guardian. I don't have a land drop for next turn anyway. This isn't really setting me back at all. Then Altasaur, Tinderwall. Fuck yeah. Good one, Altasaur. I could lead the Stampede right now and see what happens. I actually don't hate that. I'm going to sack Tinderwall to lead the Stampede. Because I have another Ranger. If this goes somewhere, I could play the Ranger and... Okay, never mind. Here's Quirion Ranger. Attack again. So Negate was pretty strong there. It sucks they're a combo deck, because if they were a control deck, I'd feel very good. But instead, I feel very bad. Or medium bad. Attacking for 6, 7, 8, 9 per turn, but I have zillions of mana. Back up. Yeah, I need a payoff, basically, is what this comes down to. Preordained bottomed. That's good news. Now there's a Ponder. Chose to shuffle. Yeah, keep doing that. That's what I'm looking for here. Another Chancery. They have a white floating. Let's hope they don't use it on anything. Just burn that, please. I think the only 1 white card in their deck. Okay, cycling Ash Barrens is fine. Getting the Godfarer's Faithful into play would be annoying. Ooh, speaking of annoying, it is annoying to my opponent that I just drew one of my better cards. Oh, it is annoying to me that I only hit Tinderwall off it. Fuck. Going to attack with all my creatures who know how to do that. In for 9. And then I'm going to play out all of the cards in my hand. Here they are. Good luck, have fun. Unfortunately, this attack it's not even a lethal attack. I'm attacking for 10 next turn and they're at 11. Gaining 2 life off that life land has been a huge deal for them. Oh, they conceded? Why would they do that? I'm hellbent. They're not dead. They get another draw step. Like, what's in their hand? What's in their 6-card hand that is like, it's not worth taking another draw step? Weird. Okay. All right. I will fix the panicked sideboarding mistakes that I made and get Caretaker back in over Jasper Sentinel at least. And being on the draw, does that change? In Freed from the Real, if this is a matchup where I need to combo faster, Freed from the Real does that. I'm bringing in Freed. Every time I sideboard, I am shown how wrong I was about Drift of Phantasms. That should be just any other card. I feel like 1 is the right number that you mostly just don't need it, though. It would have come up a few times. No. I changed my mind. In this version of the deck where we're just trying to combo quickly, being able to lead the Stampede into Freed from the Real indirectly or whatever is a big deal. No, I do like Drift. Is it just Tinderwall? I don't know. Like, whatever. It's probably Secret Door, but I don't know. The minutia of which one drop to cut, or like, should I shave an Altasaur, or should I cut Muldrifter in this combo matchup? Like, all this shit is like, what the fuck? Okay, handful of things that don't cast the things. Mulligan. This one I'll keep. And I'm gonna send one of the caretakers to the bottom. I think caretaker, like, I need one of those, but not two. And having Dispel up is a huge deal here. Land's always a welcome draw. I had the Ranger, so it's not like essential, but it is nice to have. Eventually I'm going to want a second land. Cycled Ash Barrens. Another island. Let's see if we can play some dirty tricks this game. Here's Quarian Ranger. Prohibit. Okay, deal. Good thing I drew another 1-drop, because now I can hold up Dispel going into the next turn. If that Quarian Ranger would have resolved, I could have tapped that and my land for Overgrown Battlement, and then I would have been secretly holding up Dispel going into the next turn. Guardian is really good. Can I invest in Guardian, or do I have to get Battlement down? I think I need to play the Battlement, because holding up Dispel just matters a lot here. They're close to the same card. I mean, obviously, Axebane Guardian is significantly more powerful than Overgrown Battlement once they're both in play. Like, if you could have one or the other, you'd take Axebane Guardian. But the difference of leaving up Dispel versus not leaving up Dispel to get that thing down. Like, if they just snap here, and I can Dispel it and untap with my mana versus not being able to do that. Like so. Dispel your snap. Glad that actually happened. It always feels bad when you play around something, then they don't have it, and you're behind for it, but feel rewarded on that one. All right, I'm gonna have a turn to assert myself here. Try to figure out how to maximize it. Oh, they have a white card. Oh, no, they don't. They're just cycling Ash Barrens. Getting F6 value? Why would they do that there? Drawing the land was huge. That lets me play Guardian and then lead the Stampede and then maybe cast more things. All right, Stampede, help me out here. Got a lot of mana left over. Oh, just fucking Orochi, whatever. 3 lands and Winding Way to the bottom. That hurts. That was the turn that I needed to deliver, and I didn't. F6. Opponent's got 4 cards in hand. If they are Muldrifter, then that number doesn't really mean anything. They are Chaomancered. Picking up Snap. Yeah, that's how that works. The combo is getting closer. Come on, deck. Deliver. Yes! Alright, that was a delivery. 4 mana. Make one of it blue. Muldrifter. Let's go. Let's keep it going. Right now is the window. The window is going to shrink very quickly. Oh, yeah. Alright, alright. 1, 2, 3. Gonna lead the Stampede. Let's keep it going. Come on, come on. Alright, hit 5 things this time, and one of them is Quarian Ranger, which is exactly the card I was looking for. Alright. Tap this for a blue and a bunch of green. Then, oh, can I Control Z that, or is it too late? Okay, yeah, I can do better. I can tap this for blue first and get my Secret Door into play, which gives me an extra mana off Axebane Guardian. Way better. Alright, do I win the game right now? If I go blue, 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 green, or I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So blue, 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 green. That lets me cast Quarian Ranger and Transmute Drift to get Freed from the Reel. Yeah, let's fucking go. Or is Galvanic Alchemist better? I think Alchemist is better. No, Freed. Freed makes more mana. Okay, I mean, that is the game. Let's see if they want to concede or make me click through this. Because I got nowhere to be right now. Let me make it clear to you, opponent. Freed from the Reel. Untap Enchanted Creature. Alright, just making green now. Axebane Guardian comes into play. Well, we have comboed off. Might take a minute here, but we're doing it. I'll lead the Stampede again. Battlement. Okay, whatever. At least I have many defenders in play. I'm going to tap this for blue a couple times and then start just tapping it for white. As I recently learned, But there's a Magic Online trick you can use. Untap enchanted creature. Let's see if this works. So I hold the W button and click. Oh, no. Apparently it just makes whatever it wants. All right, never mind. X-Bane Guardian might be a little tricky. There's a button, a hotkey that you can... A permanent will just tap for whatever the first color of mana it makes is. But X-Bane Guardian gives you any combination thereof. This is happening pretty quickly, though. There's just so many defenders in play. I actually need to look up what the dungeons do. Okay, here they are. The Lost Mine is each opponent loses 1 life. Tomb of Annihilation is make this 4/4. Each player loses 2 life unless they discard a card. Each player loses 2 life unless they sacrifice an artifact, creature, or land. I don't really want to do that. And the Dungeon of the Mad Mage. Scry 2, exile top 2 cards of your library, you may play them. Ooh, that could be fun. And draw 3 cards, reveal them. You may cast 1 without paying its mana cost. I might just go into Mad Mage. It's for the lulz. Alright, we're going into Mad Mage. Opponent, you want to sit here and watch me do this? I can do it in 14 minutes, don't worry. But a win condition has emerged. Scry 1 is the next one. Bottom that. Doesn't matter anymore. Gonna make a bunch of mana and keep venturing into the dungeon. Twisted Caverns, target creature can attack, create a treasure. Well, I guess I want... Does that affect where I can go next? No. Alright, Twisted Caverns. This creature can attack. Yeah, I just feel like on Magic Online, going through Mad Mage to try to find one of your faster win cons is better than going through the one that actually loses 1 life. Exile the top 2 cards of your library, you may play them. Yeah, that's the one. Runestone Cavern. Okay, Altasaur, let's go. And I can... Oh, they mean right now. That doesn't mean until end of turn. It means you may play them right now. X-Bane Guardian. That'll speed up my action. Untap enchanted creature. Yeah, now I'm just having fun. Any opponent who doesn't want to concede when they're dead and lets me make fun content instead, I'll embrace that life. Into the dungeon we go again. A Scry 3. Looking for the Invoker. Okay. Bottom, top. I like Altasaur. Another look at Invoker. I'm glad Secret Door could finally show up in this league. Exile my top 3 cards. I think Winding Way is actually better. That's more looks. A little Muldrifter action. And Rubble Fort. I could actually just, like... Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think going through Mad Mage makes more sense on Magic Online. As stupid as that is. And I get to play X-Bane Guardian, Rubble Fort. My creatures have haste now. Here's a Muldrifter. I'm just going to attack them for damage this turn. Are my Crushers in the deck? They are not. Okay. Don't need them. Altasaur. It's Quarian Ranger. Yep. That's another attacker. Altasaur. It's Winding Way. Grab some creatures. Untap my X-Bane Guardian. Make a bunch of green this time. And play Overgrown Battlement. Jasper Sentinel. Tinderwall. Winding Way. Creatures. Another Secret Door. That is free on the mana, and then I can transmute Drift and get the Invoker. And now you're just dead quickly. Oh, this is so much mana. Valakut Invoker. So I can tap my battlements and just speed this up. Start roasting their face. Okay, now they conceded. After seeing the, 4th win con, they're ready to concede. Nice. Yeah, out-comboing the combo deck is nice. Not bad. On to the final round. I'm on the draw in the final round, playing for the positive record. I've learned my lesson on this one. We're not keeping this. This one's great. Keep this and send... I don't think the sand needs Tinderwall. Alright, what are we playing against? Another fairy deck? Stop! I love fairies. They're my favorite deck in the format because they're so good and versatile and don't lose to random shit. But I am random shit right now, and I need the fairy deck to give me a damn break. The good news is I have a 1-drop with reach, so they're not going to just ninja me on turn 2. Preordain. They bottomed the Fairy Scry and then top the Preordained Scry. Okay, so I want Quarian Ranger, and then I'm going to cast Winding Way and hope that they forget how Quarian Ranger works in combat. Green, green, Winding Way, named creature. Got 3 of them. Not bad. And I'm going to pass the turn and hope they run their Fairy Seer into my Reach creature. Moment of truth. Yeah. And if they have Snuff Out, they can send me back a land here basically for free. But if they even have to like cast down or anything, okay, they did have Snuff Out. Fair enough. Had to check them where I could check them. Okay, no ninja was involved. We're good. Overgrown Battlement. That kind of sucks because it plays straight into Spell Stutter Sprite. But it is also the best card that I have. I can play Caretaker and try to bait out the Spell Stutter for a turn. Yeah, that's fine. In the long-term investment world, that is much better for me. I also don't want to offer Quarian Ranger as a trade for Spell Stutter Sprite, though I did consider it briefly. Jasper Sentinel, Reach creature. If they have another sprite, they're going to point it at this, because this Reach creature is a problem. Or what they're presenting right now. Probably should have slow rolled my land drop. So maybe they think I don't have one, but with Quarian Ranger I always have a land drop. Never mind, that doesn't make any sense. Okay. They gave me the Reach creature, it did not give me the wall. Their deck's full of removal, so that's not a huge deal. Could probably answer this in many other ways. Yeah, that qualifies. Agony Warped. Okay. I need... what do I even need here? X-Bane Guardian. Oof. Yeah, no colored mana right now with my handful of things that need it. Did a very good job controlling my various Springleaf Drum creatures. Oh god. Gonna keep attacking. If they have some flash creature to kill my elf, they got me. Don't have a lot going on right now to fight about it. Wow, they're so unimpressed that they cycled Suffocating Fumes rather than killing my elf. That's probably the right play. Another Ranger, that'll show you. If only that actually did anything. Exciting news, though. Now I can pick up this forest and replay it, and all my creatures have vigilance, kind of. As I just die to these flying creatures. The Orochi mana fixer guy is the only thing that can really help me off the top here. Alright, I'll try for Axebane Guardian. Not high hopes against their 2 cards in hand. Yes, I will attack. And if I somehow untap with this Guardian, we might have a chance. But that's asking a lot. Oh, they're tapping mana in the end step. Yep, super fucking dead. Alright, there is nothing left to play for here. Straight to the sideboard. And being able to control my color fixers as they did, my hand just fell apart very quickly. Dispel's good. Reaping the Graves is good. Shadowshot Archer is good. And I think we're in another matchup where I just need to mostly play fair. Drift can come out. Still like Invoker. Still like Alchemist. I want to be able to threaten a combo at least a little bit. Creatures having haste is pretty good because Scattershot Archer is coming in. Oh, I did just lose a game because I couldn't cast my blue and red spells, so maybe I shouldn't shave a color fixer. Yeah, maybe Rebel Fort is worse than I want it to be. I have one in there. In case it comes to that. Thief Caller would have been great there. I think Tinderwall just looks like the worst thing by a lot. This is what I'm gonna do. This one is kind of a teaser. If I think for a second I'm gonna untap with Axebane Guardian, the hand's actually good. I'm gonna keep this. I think just having a 7-card hand that can hit land drops and cast some spells is better than trying to chase like a perfect 5 against the deck as powerful as blue-black fairies. Preordain. Yeah, Snuff Out is just really good in this matchup. Being able to remove whatever my most important creature is for 0 mana. Big deal. Altasaur is nice if we get there. Getting there is the hard part. Oh, Battlement. Look who showed up. Attack with my Ranger. Really would have liked that Battlement last turn. You can't Agony Warp Battlement, but you can't cast Dispel off of it either. I'm just going to go for my best card here. They can't counterspell with the mana they have, but they have many removal spells. Yep. There's one of them. This deck needs Tropical Island. Come on, Pauper. Get with the program. I'm gonna make kind of a greedy attack here. It actually does cost me mana if they flash in a blocker. But if they don't, it looks so smart, it's worth it. Here's Battlement. Man, as powerful as this spell looks, when you don't have blue mana, it just is not good. Not going Decay on that one, okay. They did have the ability to punish my attack by hurting my mana. Ugh. Well, I don't expect this to resolve, but here's Lead the Stampede. Oh, it resolved. I had no hope for that, but here's Scattershot Archer, which will get eaten by Spellstutter Sprite, I have no doubt. We gotta work through their cards somehow. I was about to go to discard anyway. Saw me pick up 2 Annoyed Altosaurs here. Ninja's not the worst. I mean, their black removal spells, punching through my 0/4s to keep Ninja connecting, is a big deal in this matchup. That isn't as true in the green, or the red version. All right, here's this 1-drop that awkwardly, we all know perfectly well, is just going to ram straight into Spellstutter Sprite. Currently have 3 mana to work with. I'm not going to give them a free launch on this Spellstutter. Just going to pass the turn. And that mana went unspent instead of giving them the freebie. I'm not going to let Agony Warp kill one of my walls. I think letting them draw a card here is worth not letting that happen. Or maybe that was just a free attack and I'm a chump for falling for it. Thorn of the Black Rose is a good one. They're still holding up Spellstutter, but they're not holding up Counterspell. Okay, Reaping the Graves is a very good card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can just Annoyed Altosaur right now. Gotta be the play. Jasper Sentinel, which runs into the Spellstutter Sprite all the same. That's okay, because that was a freebie. I still get the 6/5. I will block Ninja with a 6/5 if they let me. And right now I'm just sort of like throwing rocks at the wall because them being the Monarch means that I don't get to just hang back and sculpt up my hand. My hand is already sculpted up. That's not the problem anymore. Ooh. I played around Agony Warp last turn, but I'm still going to block this Ninja. My 6/5 trample could take the Monarch back, but let's get a 2-for-1. Eat the Ninja and get the Agony Warp out of their hand. It's a 3/2 now. Looks like they're also going to Ninja their Thorn. Okay. Just keeping the cards flowing. Makes sense. Time to just keep ramming Altosaurs onto the stack. I wish I could cast this Caretaker so bad, but it's just too bad against Spellstutter Sprite to be playable. Right, Winding Way. I think I actually named land here. Just hit 0 of them. Would have been 4 creatures, but like just going to discard here, not really an option. Just discarding 4 cards. My hand just has too many good cards in it. Classic BoshNRoll problem. Cycling Suffocating Fumes, okay. My Altosaur is in play for combat. Block Ninja. They do need a hard removal spell on Altosaur, or else I do get to trample through and take the Monarch. Not that I'm doing anything great with it at the moment. Tinderwall somehow, one of the better draws in my deck, because that filters green into red immediately, so I can rubble for it. We know Thorn is in their hand. I don't think we have any other information. Fasten. Take that. Axebane Guardian. I'm going to attack and see if I'm the Monarch. If they react in combat, that's information I have to work with. Okay, they took 11 and I'm the Monarch. Like that. Time to deploy the 3rd and final Altosaur in my deck. There it is. Fucking Lead the Stampede, Jesus. Well, okay. I just get 5 things when I don't want any. Okay, do I want these in my graveyard? I don't. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Okay, so I want Ranger, Jasper Sentinel, Jasper Sentinel. Do I want Scattershot? Do I just want all these things, then I discard the other things? I don't think I want another Axebane Guardian. Okay, I'm going to show 3 cards, and then bottom 2 of them. I get this big idiot. I get to draw a card for the Monarchy. Then I have to discard 4. Cycling in my end step. Cycling Fumes. Okay, I drew Tinderwall. That's actually one of the better draws for the reasons I mentioned. I'm going to discard Alchemist, Invoker. I think I need the Sentinel. No, I have more than one of that thing. Sentinel and... Oh, this is tough. I want to keep at least 2 blue sources in my hand. I also like the haste creature a lot. The haste creature is facilitated by the Tinderwall. Alright, I'll build up to the haste creature later. Brainstorm. And if they had a removal spell, they would have protected their Monarchy by killing my Altasaur. I think they would have cut my mana out from under me by hitting one of my battlements several turns ago too. Fairy Seer. They had an Evolving Wilds to shuffle the Brainstorm. The perfect Legacy Brainstorm. Top bottom, their Scry off Fairy Seer. And they can replay Thorn of the Black Rose and become the Monarch again. Okay, Snuff Out's a good one. In for 3, which draws a card and becomes the Monarch again. All good stuff for them, bad for me. Another Brainstorm. They've already made their land drop. If they have a Scry effect, this Brainstorm makes a lot of sense. Or I guess they could have Ash Barrens. Augur. Yeah, that clears the Brainstorm. Shows me Counterspell. Disappointing. They have a removal spell. I really hope it hits. Okay, that's not a removal spell. Okay, they have Counterspell in their hand. So I gotta figure out how to wiggle through this turn. How can I bait them best? I think Jasper Sentinel, Tinderwall. If I get red mana here... Oh wait, my thing... I put my haste creature in the graveyard. I forgot about that. Caretaker. Lots of mana. Aquarian Ranger. Axebane Guardian. Counterspelling that one. Kill. I'm gonna attack with my 6/5 trample. It's probably gonna trade with Garmag. It's gonna get double blocked by Garmag and Augur. Yep. It's fine. And I'm gonna put Garmag Angler first, of course. Try to stay alive here. If I untap with all this mana available, actually not feeling that bad about the game. I have a lot of toughness in play. One of it has reach, or one of the creatures has reach. And then if I can reap the graves next turn, casting down my reach creature. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Just leave my other creature that taps for mana alone, please. Okay. Now I need a spell to get the reap chain going. Okay, Scattershot Archer is a spell. Cast that one. I hope they fight over it. Brainstorm in response. Okay, that's good for me. That's a spell for reap. I can still dispel if they find an answer to this. Storm is 2. Please cast Counterspell. Less excited about Spell Stutter, but still fine. Spell Stutter. So now Storm is 4 for the reap. And then tap for black. 3/4. Reaping the Graves. Alright, I get 4 things back. I think I want Altasaur. I mean, I definitely want Altasaur. Reaping the Graves, I get 4 things. Altasaur is the first target. I can protect this with Dispel. Altasaur, 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 and Rubblefort or Muldrifter. Do I want haste? Is that important? It was kind of a plan a while ago, but I don't know if that's still the plan now. Yeah, I'll get 3 Altasaurs and Muldrifter. I do have Dispel up because I can untap my Caretaker. They have 3 cards in their hand. They're spell stuttering one of these. I can't dispel a spell stutter. Probably targeting the one that's targeting Muldrifter, because Altasaur I just get 3 of anyway. Oh no, okay. They are more worried about Altasaur, it seems. 1, 2, 6, 7, Altasaur. Cascade, see what we get. Hopefully something good. Winding Way, hell yeah. Take more of those. 2 cards in their hand right now. Same creature. Get a Muldrifter off of that, and an Orochi. Big fan of Orochi. And untap. Oh, if I untap, I lose my Dispel, but I think that's fine. Oh, I should have played Orochi first. Fuck. Yeah, if I play Orochi first, then my Dispel is still on. I might have messed this up, because if they have a removal spell right now... Okay. Got away with it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Or I can also sack Tinderwall. I think that's worth doing. I am going to play Orochi, because I think that having up Dispel is really important. And then 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to cash in the wall for the other Altasaur. And I'm holding up Dispel right now. Winding Way. Let's find the way. This is the way. Creature. Hit a Tinderwall. Fuck yeah. They're going to counterspell that. Not on my watch. Make blue and Dispel counterspell. Have 2 giant 6/5s in play. We're ready for that. Okay. Might still be dead here, but that was a really good turn. They have 1 card left in their hand, and they are still the Monarch, and everything that comes with that. Cycling Ash Baron, so they have 1 possible spell in their hand. I don't think they can kill me this turn, even with a removal spell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They only even have 8 damage in play. And that Thorn of the Black Rose has been chilling for a long time. Okay, Snuff Out was the last card in their hand. I had 2 giant reach creatures. Reaping the Graves. How about that card, by the way? Alright, they are just spewing off the damage that they need to spew off to play this game. That makes sense. They need to find a win somewhere here. They get to draw a card. They have 5 toughness, and I have a 6/5 trample in play. There are certainly cards in their deck that would be good here. I just hope they don't have them. I'll lead on Tinderwall. And then 4, 5 mana, make 1 of it blue. All Drifter. Drawing 2. Caretaker is another defender. 5. Make 1 of it blue. All Drifter, let's go. Let's go. We're in Ranger. That's a good card. Gonna untap Overgrown Battlement. And then cast another Muldrifter. Let's fucking go. And then another Battlement. Attack with my 6/5 reach. I have 3 blockers. Oh, I can untap the Altasaur as well. Yeah, so this will take the Monarch. I didn't have lethal. Yeah, I was 1 attacker short of lethal there. Making sure. And I am the Monarch. Their ground creatures don't matter. I have 4 blockers that can block flying. Woof. All right, we got to do that again. There's a game 3. Jeez. Okay. That was awesome, though. Ulamog's Crusher, yeah, still doesn't line up right. I mean, Weather the Storm, I can see a world where, like, that's actually the difference between winning and losing. Like, if I could just crack this off for, like, 12 on a random turn, that could give me a lot of time to operate. But what actual spell am I going to cut to do that? And I think the answer is not any of them. I have the 6 reach creatures, plus the 3 Scattershot Archers, plus the 3 Muldrifters, plus a combo kill. Yeah, I'm just going to go in with this same deck. I'm going to keep this hand. It's very good. It has multiple sources of non-green mana, has a reach creature on turn 1. We're in Ranger to do Ranger business. Your deck can certainly pick this apart, but I'm going to hope it doesn't. And I'm still leading on Jasper Sentinel, even though I drew Scattershot Archer, because Archer, I think, will hang harder into the long game, if that makes any sense. I mean, like, they can just attack with Fairy Seer, Ninja, and then if I'm sure they have Spellstutter Spray, which card would I prefer they counter? I think it's Quirion Ranger. Scattershot Archer just shuts down their whole shit. And then I'm gonna Winding Way here. Play around Spellstutter. Oh, right. They have 2 fucking fairies in play. I couldn't play around Spellstutter anyway. Yeah, that's right. That's how that works. Well played, Brian. They can Kamikaze their fairies in to connect with Ninja, but they've seen the Ranger trick already in this match. Okay, that sucks. I don't really need to set myself back a land drop here over 2 damage. Yeah, I'm just going to let them take out my Ranger and attack for 2. Because that card costs mana, they can't Ninja me. Not a big deal. And now I can Scattershot Archer plus Rumblefort. Oh, I should have done that the other direction. Whatever. Here's Rubble Fort. No, I couldn't do that in the other direction. That's not a thing. Augur of Bolus. They're frantically looking for Snuff Out right now. Oh, look at the bottom 3 cards of your library. Augur of Bolus, baby. They have 2 attacks here. They could ninja if they have it. Oh, this card has reach? This has reach? Why? Okay, I could have saved 1 damage there. Didn't notice until after I'd already clicked through it. What the fuck? Why does that card have reach? Okay, Axebane Guardian. I'm going to put them to the test immediately on this counterspell. If they don't have it, we're just shredding. It's fine. NBD. Here's my secret door, and I'm going to kill all your shit. There we go. They have 2 cards in hand. I have a 0/4 in play. I will block. Fuck Agony Warp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I can venture into the dungeon. I'm not really doing anything else here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dungeon. Gotta figure out which one is, like, the value dungeon. Oh, God. Oh, I guess I can just zoom these out. Each player loses 1 life. No. Scry 1. Lost Mine is the one you usually go to in Limited. Yeah, we're kind of playing a limited game. I'm gonna scry 1. Top. Do I even want this, actually? Yeah, I think so. If they answer one of them, I want the other one covered. Land go for my opponent. I'm just gonna keep adventuring. Do I want a treasure or a goblin? I think I want a goblin. And the treasure could be good. I am trying to ramp up to this Altasaur. Yeah, maybe I just definitely want a treasure and I'm done. Cycling Ash Barrens. Okay. I feel like they have a counterspell in their hand. Like, there's plenty of good targets for removal spells right now, and they have been making land drops. Alchemist is a good one to have access to. Keep going down the dungeon. +1 counter on a creature, or each opponent loses 1 life and I gain 1 life. I think I want to put a counter on Rubble Fort. Now it actually kills fairies when it blocks them, and it's out of range of Agony Warp. They had no land, no play, go on their turn. All right, I'm just gonna draw a card here. Finish off my dungeon. Draw a card. It's Winding Way. Cool. I've never completed a dungeon in Constructed without winning the game on the spot. This was fun. This was a fun experience. Cast down. Okay, cool. Completed my dungeon, drew my card. I ended up getting multiple cards out of the secret door, and then they cast down on it, and was able to hide the fact that Tuk Tuk Rubble Fort's actually my important card in play right now. Well, actually, it's Sentinel. I just have so many important cards in play right now, and that wasn't it. Okay, so we're pretty sure they have counter spells right now. I'm just going to start casting spells in medium priority order. Like, this Spellstarter Sprite is off the table because I have the Archer, and now I can Winding Way. I'm casting spells that I'd be happy if they resolve, but they're also not my best spell. Like, Lead the Stampede is my best spell. Okay, that's actually really challenging because they're about to take me off of Anna. I'm gonna float a green, and then that dies. And counterspell. Okay, that's countered. And then I can play Scattershot Archer with my floating green. And now I have attacks. Oh yeah, they're hellbent. I got attacks. Yeah, they're out of cards. I have successfully navigated what I wanted to there. Taking me off non-green mana on the way out was smart. But now I get to slam Lead the Stampede. They played out their land. Oh, they have Edict in the graveyard. Good thing I have this Goblin token. Deal. Goblin token's gone. That secret door was busted. Completely and utterly unbeatable. Gotta say, I'm impressed by how much play is in this deck. Like, when I was sent the list, I was like, oh, okay, that's cute. I see what it's doing. But this, like, wall control sideboard plan and like the various routes to the combos and the various win cons, and like how many of the win cons also just get value when you're not comboing. That's all really interesting. We've been sitting here in my opponent's combat set for a full minute now. I wonder if they're just salting off or what's going on right now. My favorite thing about when opponents disconnect. Okay, they're back. I was about to say my favorite thing when opponents disconnect is it just gives you 10 minutes to file a TOS violation report. but they're back. The salt was short-lived. I can play Jasper Sentinel, which can tap Rubble Fort for Overgrown Battlement. They can attack for 2, or for 1, because they're going to block one of them. But next turn, we're in Dinosaur Town. Preordain off the top. Living off the top is a relief, because they can, like, remove something, or hold up a counterspell, or add to their board, but it's really hard to do all of it. Yeah, I like that removal spell. I would be worried about that if I thought this could ninja, but it can't, because they're Hellbent. Surprise. Come on, mana source. That's a mana source. Grand Ranger. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, alright. 1, untap my mana creature. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Got a hasty 6/5 creature and whatever it brings with it, which is a hasty 0/3 creature. Here they come. I feel like we're over the hump on this one. It's gonna be hard to lose this. Trying to think of a draw in their deck that worries me at this point. I don't think there is one. And they came to the same conclusion. They packed it up. Put up a 3/2 with wall combo. Yeah, like I was saying in round 5, the play to this deck was impressive. I really thought this would just be sort of a like, LOL, my X-Bane Guardian resolves or it doesn't, haha. But there's a lot going on here. And it's complicated enough that I made a number of mistakes, and it's complicated enough that it tricked opponents into making a number of mistakes. Like the one game we took against Mono Black, they definitely could have won that one if they understood what was going on better. Sequencing your spells through blue player counter walls is really interesting. Like the match against Blue-Red we lost was totally on me. If I had just been more patient, I think that matchup was pretty close to unlosable if you just take your time and sculpt up from the position that we lost it from. I just got impatient and got punished for it. A lot of cool stuff going on here. Ulamog's Crusher, we didn't really play any matchups that would shine, which would be like the non-blue ones, I guess, or non-blue, non-black. Like anything else in the format, like any sort of Bogles or Heroic or Goblins, Elves, whatever. Just decks that have trouble removing an 8/8 and you get the inevitability of the Annihilator. That's all pretty cool. But we didn't get a chance to do that. I'm going to change back right now the 1 Drift of Phantasms 3 Rubble Fort, because Rubble Fort was bonkers. Looking at this card in the deck tech at the beginning, I was like, no way, that's better than Drift, but it definitely is, by the way. I also don't see a world where we're boarding in a Drift of Phantasms, and Reaping the Graves was insane. I might even want a main deck Reap if I was going to keep tooling around with this deck. Do you really need 2 Secret Doors in your deck? That seems like a card you could have one of. I now understand why the posted lists on MTG Goldfish are so diverse. There's the obvious core of the deck, but the numbers of Rubble Forts and Phantasms and Altasaurs and Muldrifters and all of that, like the stuff on the edges of the core combo, the numbers are wildly different if you scroll through a bunch of different lists, and now I see why. There's a lot going on here and a lot to customize about the deck. Super cool stuff. If you like building contraptions, assembling contraptions, and playing Pauper, I can totally recommend this deck as a fun thing to do with your friends or take to FNM. I'm not sure I would queue into a Pauper PTQ with this deck. We saw how it gets picked apart by some of the top decks in the format. Just like a well-placed Skred collapses your whole engine, and you actually can't beat a 5/2 trample. Just fucking Cobble Brute with trample, you can't beat. So there's some pros and cons here, but the deck was surprisingly resilient, surprisingly lot going on among these simple looking cards on the surface. Thanks, Ash, for asking me to play this. Really cool stuff. Everyone, thanks for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the Discord community, the Patreon, the YouTube membership, all that stuff, and I'll see you next time.